Let's talk soccer, and EPL is, of course, back again this weekend. We're about halfway through the season at this point. So, looking at our favourite team in Tottenham, who we basically adopted ever since Ange Postecoglou, our Aussie head coach, has headed there and done quite well. Had a really hot start of the year. They had them top of the table there for quite some time. And then had a little bit of a wobbly period. They tumbled down a little bit. They're currently fifth for those who are trying to keep up across the summer.
Yeah, exactly where they are.
12 wins.
12 wins, yes.
3 draws, 5 losses. So the record's still pretty strong.
Sound, isn't it?
Very. Remember, I think it was the first 7 games undefeated. So had a really good start. We're going to go to a man who knows more than anyone basically in the world about the Tottenham Footy Club. Chris Cowlin joins us on the line. Chris, thanks for your time, mate. How would you assess Ange Postecoglou's first half as the coach of Tottenham?
Wayne, Sam, pleasure to be on. Thanks for asking. And Ange Postecoglou has transformed this football club. It was actually his first 10 games in the Premier League unbeaten, sitting top of the Premier League. Jeez. And, you know, for what we've gone through in these last couple of years, Ange Postecoglou's appointment has been absolutely refreshing. Everyone is fully on board with what he's doing. He's brought real positivity to this football club, and he's making a difference. In the transfer window, normally Spurs get deals done late on in transfer windows. In the summer, it was an exceptional window, bringing in key players. We're only 10, 11 days into the January transfer window. We're just about to announce our second signing of this window. He's had a lot of problems with players being injured, players being out suspended, and we all believe that had he have had those key players in all of these games so far this season, we'd probably be sitting top of the Premier League, which is absolutely incredible. As I say, he's transformed this football club, and everyone is fully on board with Ange Ball, and it's super, super exciting. It really is. And you know, he's such a likeable guy. A lot of other opponents' fans now are getting a little bit jealous of his likability and him calling everyone mate and everyone being fully on board. But he's taking Tottenham places, which is super exciting.
I mean, the thing is, Chris, I mean, it's the integrity, the way he goes about it. That's what he's brought to the table. It's brilliant, isn't it?
It is absolutely fantastic. And, you know, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium where we play our home games, it's been like a party atmosphere this season. And it's been incredible to see, because we've gone through a couple of big win now managers that sadly haven't got us over the line. But the way that Ange conduct himself in press conferences, and the way that he talks, and the way that he gets these players on board, and the way that he's had to deal with so many issues this season in terms of injuries, you know, he still gets the team playing. And most importantly, we've had entertaining football, because the type of football that we've had in recent seasons has been pretty dull. Although we've won some games, it hasn't been, you know, what it's like under Ange right now. So I think he's building a very exciting young team. You know, the signings that have come in or coming in, you know, he's looking towards the future as well. But the most important thing as well, that he's really having a say in these signings, because we know previous managers haven't had so much of a say. But I think he's come in and just said, look, this is what I want to do. And everyone is fully on board. As I say, I can't speak highly enough of the guy.
It's fantastic. And when you look at the quality of the player that he's been able to secure during that's January transfer window, Timo Werner, I mean, what a pickup that's going to be.
A huge get.
And it just brings that quality and that attacking style that he's desperately keen for.
Absolutely. And he had a bit of a hard time at RB Leipzig. He hasn't had much game time this season. So, of course, he's made that move to Spurs. He's extremely hungry. He's a German international, very, very experienced, won the Champions League with the likes of Chelsea. He's used to winning. He's a proven winner. He can play anywhere across the front three, on the left, on the right, through the middle. So that's another thing about Ange. He loves versatile players, but bringing in a real experienced player like this, you know, could make the difference in scoring goals and assisting. And as I say, it's very, very exciting. You know, it's 7:30 in the morning here, and we're just waiting for the official announcement of our second signing of this summer transfer window. It's expected that it's going to be announced this morning, Radu Dragushin. And this is a very, very exciting signing, because he's just turned down Bayern Munich, of course, the German champions.
Wow.
in the Bundesliga, and to turn down them to come and join Spurs, I think that's all you need to know about what Ange is doing at the football club right now, because everyone's excited to sign for Tottenham and play for Ange.
That is such a huge call for a player who's got those options in front of him. What do you think it is that is so attractive about Ange Postecoglou's, I suppose, belief that he's selling to the team and what he's instilling there at Tottenham at the moment?
Well, it's Ange Ball. It's the style. It's the way that we play. I think everyone, secretly and deep down that, some people won't like to admit it, but Spurs are the most entertaining team in the Premier League right now, and everyone wants to watch Tottenham Hotspur matches. But I love Ange's style. He chooses personality, and I love the fact that he, before we sign a player, he's on FaceTime, he's on the phone to these players. He wants to know a lot about them. He wants to know a lot about them as a person, their personality. And it's absolutely fantastic because he gets to know them. He wants to know, their beliefs, their philosophy, that they share, what he wants from them as a player. And it's really, really great to see. And not only is it good, for players coming in, Ange has made the difference in, some of these players going out the door as well, which is really, really important to squad rotation and improving the squad, because of course the squad constantly needs to be refreshed. And this is only his second transfer window, and it's very, very impressive what he's done so far.
Amazing. And their next game, of course, for Spurs up against Manchester United. I mean, they'll ask some questions of Spurs, but they'll certainly go into the game with the confidence with Ange and Ange Ball.
Absolutely. And I think that Manchester United this season, they've been so up and down. Their fans are very, very frustrated with the way that they're playing at the moment. They're winning one game one week, they're losing the next week. So inconsistent. We go away at Old Trafford. Of course, it's going to be a very difficult game, but we've got players coming back. Ange will be absolutely delighted that Mickey van der Ven will be back. Key players such as James Maddison Romero will be back very soon as well. So that's good. It's all positive, in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I fully expect Spurs to go to Old Trafford on Sunday, and get the win. And hopefully Timo Werner and our other new signing, Dragusin, will feature in some way in the match. And, as I say, I can't speak highly enough of Tottenham, the way that we've conducted business and the way that we've recruited, because it hasn't been like this, in recent years. So, how we're conducting ourselves on and off the pitch at the moment is very, very impressive. And
neat, of course. FA Cup grabbing another win there, 1-0, against Burnley. Hey, what about that strike? Pedro Porro. Just spectacular.
That's as sweet as I've seen a strike.
Unbelievable. And I tell you what, I'm so glad Spurs fans love the FA Cup, and Ange made 10 changes in a League Cup competition earlier on this season. We ended up going out on penalties. A lot of people were very unhappy about that, but he said that he wanted to give certain players a chance to see whether he wanted to keep them, sell them or whatever. But Ange went extremely strong in the FA Cup against Burnley. We got the job done, and now in the fourth round we face the European champions, the Premier League champions, Manchester City at home. They haven't scored a goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in 5 visits. They've lost all 5 games against us. So we hope to continue this run in the FA Cup, because we haven't won this competition since 1991, which is a crazy stat because we won it for a record 8th time then. But Ange, I think, is going to go strong. And, if Ange could lift a trophy in his first season at Tottenham, it would just be such an incredible story.
I mean, we keep talking about these positive things and change, which needs to occur on the list, the January transfer window. But one that they're looking to move to create that opportunity, Eric Dyer, of course, back to Bayern Munich, and then he gets with his own teammate Harry Kane, if that were to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric Dyer has been a good servant to the football club, but I think sometimes you do need to be ruthless. And I think from day one when Ange came in, Eric Dyer was definitely not going to fit this system. The only minutes that Dyer has had under Ange this season is because of injuries and because of the problems that we've had on the pitch, in terms of personnel. But Eric Dyer, as I say, he scored on his debut, his Premier League debut against West Ham away. That was an excellent start for him. Of course, he's played in many Champions League games and big games for Spurs over the last 10 years, but it is time for him to move on. He's not an Ange type player. And, as I say, you've got to keep rotating. You've got to keep refreshing, and you've got to keep improving this squad. And every single week, this is what I love about Ange, off the pitch, on the pitch, every single week since his arrival, he's improving the football club. And I think that Eric Dyer moving to Bayern Munich he's out of contract in the summer. So if Spurs can get any money for him in this January transfer window, again, it would be great business.
Chris, you know all about Tottenham, mate. You have been outstanding with your coverage so far, and jumping on the phone when you can for us on 5AA. Appreciate it, mate. And hopefully there's a few more wins for Tottenham on the way.
I'm very impressed with your weather, by the way, because it's -1 here.
Well, you should get on a kite and come here, mate, because it's far better than that over this side.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Chris Cowlin there, he's all over it.
He's all over it, exactly. I mean, that knowledge and that, just the complete coverage of where it is, what's happening, what needs